Welcome back to OpenLine. We have with us Joe Woolley. He is the CEO of the Nashville LGBT Chamber. And we're talking about what the Chamber is, its role when it comes to recruiting businesses. And up at the legislature, there was a survey that was done about the business climate, really the quality of life across the entire state. Go over that survey, kind of what was found as you started asking these questions. What was the point of the survey, and kind of what did you discover in doing this survey?
Yeah, this report came out last year, and I have used it extensively ever since. The Out Leadership Group put out a study of all states. They ranked all states. They used things like legal and non-discrimination protections, youth and family support, political and religious attitudes, health access and safety, work environments, and employment. And they ranked and gave every state a score. Tennessee scored 36.4 out of a possible 100 points for LGBT quality of life issues.
So this is the state of Tennessee.
There are only 4 states below us, and they're only below us by 0.2 points. And those were South Dakota, Oklahoma, Mississippi, and South Carolina.
So we're one of the worst states in the country when it comes to what exactly?
LGBT quality of life. So they look at all of these factors for how that affects an LGBT person's quality of life, those issues that I just read off.
Now, would the score be higher in the city of Nashville if you live just in Davidson County?
Some, but what's interesting with Tennessee is the reason Nashville has a low HRC Equality Index score, which is another group that rates businesses and municipalities, is Nashville has done everything it can to raise its score, to offer LGBT protections, and the state has taken that away. So everything the city does, or any municipality, the state overrides that and takes it away. So that is as high as Nashville could get, but it's the score that Tennessee has, only 4 lower. Do you know what the number one state, or the number 1 state was that had the highest LGBT quality of life score?
I do, because I looked at it, but yeah, it's California.
So I use that report, and then every time we get another California company to move here, I make this comparison. We are number 1 in business attraction, businesses moving to the state of Tennessee. That's due to tort reform, taxes, all the other great reasons that business is flocking to this state. And they're flocking here from California, the number 1 state in LGBT quality of life, but actually like 49th in business. The number 1 concern they're having when they're coming here is, are my LGBT and minority workforce going to want to move there and live there and raise their families there? And that is a huge concern. And this goes to the work that we do, that Tennessee Thrives does, that our major corporate members are doing on our behalf and working with us, is they want to make sure that this state is welcoming and open for everybody to live, work, and raise their families. And that's what this is all about right now with the state legislature.
Who do we compete? All right, so those bottom states. If a company were uncomfortable with Tennessee, what's a state where that company might go?
So we compete a lot with jobs or corporations looking at going to Austin, but I will tell you, companies are as concerned with the Texas legislature as they are here. So it's really like, do we want Austin or Nashville? Which state do you think is going to have a bathroom bill first, Texas or Tennessee? Tennessee is playing hard. It's playing with fire when it comes to passing an anti-LGBT bill on the same level as the bathroom bill. We have the most to lose. South Dakota passed the bathroom bill 2 months before North Carolina did. I'm probably going to make some people mad in South Dakota, but it wasn't a big deal because there's not big businesses flocking to South Dakota to open up like PayPal was in Charlotte, or the basketball tournament was in Charlotte. And then Charlotte did it, or North Carolina did it, and they felt all of the ramifications from that bill being passed. Tennessee is in the spot to feel the worst of this if we pass something first. And there's legislators up there that think this is all a hoax, that this is all bluffing, that they can pass these bills and we're not going to have another North Carolina. I've had conversations with them around this, our CEOs that have gone in and spoken to them. They've stated that. I can't emphasize how wrong I think they are. I think when the bill gets passed that is going to be seen as pure blatant discrimination and that harms LGBT people's day-to-day lives, like the bathroom bill did in North Carolina, we are going to feel that hit, and it's going to be bad. And
we have these low numbers that you're talking about even before that the adoption bill passed, and even before this the bathroom bill passes. So how optimistic are you this number is going to go up? I mean, what needs to happen besides I guess defeating bills? What needs to happen to make this number go up?
Well, we'd love to work on positive bills that could make this number go up. Unfortunately, all we do is play defense against anti-LGBT bills. There's a lot of bills that could be filed and passed that would help LGBT people, but they'd help everybody. A healthcare bill that was fully inclusive. Healthcare is a major issue for everybody. It's specifically an issue for transgender people. Political and religious attitudes. We need to become a much more welcoming state. We need to start talking with each other versus screaming at each other that you're wrong on whatever viewpoint. I can't tell you the number of legislators that I speak to, and we have a great conversation. We talk business. They get to know me. They know my husband. We have personal conversations, and then they can go out to the floor and say some of the things they say in committees about LGBT people or transgender people. So we have to keep having these conversations, keep educating, and stop demonizing people in a really bad way that shuts down all types of communication. I don't think we get anywhere when we go into our corners and we stop talking to each other. It's not the way of the chamber. It's not the way that I function, and I think it's the downfall of our society, to be honest, when everybody goes to Twitter and makes your remarks and then doesn't listen or read or talk to anybody else that disagrees with them. So, how much pushback, negativity do you get just in general? You're, again, LGBT Chamber. How much do people call your office with, disparaging remarks, or just how much negative pushback do you get? So, in person, very, very little. And I've never experienced like blatant discrimination to my face since I moved here. I moved here in 2000 from small town Idaho, grew up in a farm town, didn't even know gay people existed, and Nashville was my coming out city. But I've never been discriminated here to my face. I've always found it very welcoming. I don't get that in professional settings. I'm lucky enough to go into corporations, small businesses. Every time I go out and speak, it's on behalf of, it's a professional setting. And it's in Nashville. You travel 30 minutes outside this city and you live there and you're openly LGBT, you're gonna be treated a very different way. Now, what I have experienced is online bullying. I was concerned on coming on this show because I think the veil of me just calling in, and I don't have to give my name or talk to you face to face, is the same type of issue that we have with social media. People go online and post the worst things that you would never ever say to somebody face to face, but because you're behind that screen and you're not looking at them and you're not humanizing that person, you say some awful stuff. Online, I've taken a lot, phone calls. There was a recent article in the Business Journal, and I received 3 people cut that article out, drew on it, wrote me notes, and mailed it to me. So that was a new type of
like wrote mean things, negative things.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
And threats. Last year when we became the first city in the South to pass LGBT certification for businesses. Nashville recognized that. I received three threats because that shook somebody's world so much that they decided they needed to threaten me. One of them talked about where I work and where I park my car. So I turned that into the police. The person's well known, and one of my big issues outside the chamber is this line of free speech of how far you have to go to cross a line before it becomes an actual threat to somebody.
All right, we have to take a break. Derek, I believe, is on the line. Hold on. We'll take a break. Be back right after this.